Hi, today's project we're doing is a pencil me in card with foiled heart and also printing on the pencil. What you use today is the Pebeo foils, mirror foils, which come in multitude of colours. We're going to use the red. We're using a Fabriano greeting card paper, which we know goes through this machine, which is A5, but obviously it's half to go through to make our cards up. We've set that computer up with the design on, so it goes through the printer twice, so we need the heart on the first print and then the wording on the second print. The wording's obviously whatever you want to make it, but we've done pencil me in, names, dates, times, just so people know what you want them to turn up to. The first thing you do is print anything you want to foil, so in our case we're printing just the heart. It's on an A6 size paper, so we've set the printer up to know that it is A6. We've also set it up on a heavier weight paper plus a higher ink resolution, so that we make sure that it will grab as much of the foil as we can. We should say that we are using a laserjet printer, as that's the sort of ink you need. It is possible to do with a photocopier as long as it's laser. To foil your cards, you put your printed sheet into a laminator, put the foil over it, put it into the protective sleeve and push it through the machine. Be aware not to do it too hot because the foils can melt slightly. The foils also don't go across the whole thing, so on these, the black does show through, which does make it unique each and every one, so it does give that hand feel to the piece, but the shine comes through nicely. You will then need to reprint it, the writing over the top without the heart on, or your bit that you wanted foiling, so that's why I set it up earlier as with the print, so I knew when I put it back through exactly where the writing will go. The second hack is very simple again. You use a hot iron. You get a dishcloth or a piece of material to put over the top. Least amount of texture on the material is great. We've set the iron up with no steam on around about 2 stars or 2 ditties on your iron, and then rubbed it across the area where the inkjet has printed the heart with the foil over the top. Again, be careful not to do it too hot because the foils can melt slightly because there is a plastic coating on the top. When you come to peeling them back, you may find that you haven't applied enough heat and the foil doesn't go across the whole thing. Again, it's very simple to fix. All you do is put the foil back across, put the material over it again to protect it, and then re-iron that area so that the foil will come off again. It won't recatch on the areas where there is no foil, so it'll only get the areas where it needs it. The best thing to do is try and use as much of the foil as you can, so work out where the least wastage will happen. And then you get a lovely shine. Again, this one came out slightly better than the laminated one, but that's it's just pot luck on these, I'm afraid. There's no given way. As I said, put it through the printer again. I had it so that the writing was set up to go exactly where I want prior to it, so I knew when I put the printer through again it'll do exactly what I want. The card I'm using has a deckled etching, so it gives that handmade feel even more. The final little things you need to consider on these is the pencils. What I've done with these was I found some plain wooden pencils. I'll show you in a minute how to print on them. I've measured 2 centimeters down with about 5mm to 8mm between 2 cuts either side of the heart. This is so I can slip the pencil through. I have measured down to make sure that the knife cuts are going through the same level, so I have the same gap on either side, so the pencil will be level when I put it through. Things you need to consider when you're doing this is how long your name is on the pencil. So you need to make sure that that will fit between the two gaps you chop. The length of the pencil, so you probably have to cut the pencil shorter, so you also need to make sure that your name will fit in onto the length of pencil plus date and anything else you want to put onto the pencil. On this, obviously I've measured off how long the pencil needs to be. I know with this I need the name and the date to be in the center, and I'd also recommend having an electric pencil sharpener if you're going to be doing lots of these, as it will save your hands from doing it manually. You simply push the pencil through the two holes, making sure the date is facing forward, and that will give you a really nice, cheap, save the date, pencil me in card, which is personalised, handmade, and your guests will be absolutely thrilled for getting it. So finally, to make the pencil, we used a blank wooden pencil with no varnish or lacquers on. If there is any, just quickly sand it off to make sure it's clean so that the ink will grab it. Use the LaserJet printer again. Reverse the writing so that the wording is back to front, because when you iron it down it will come the right way round. You can personalise this even to every pencil if you wanted to, but obviously we've set it up so you have the name, your date put on each pencil. Remember to make sure it fits in the gap between the hearts. To get the writing on the pencil, put it level along the straight edge where you want it. Make sure it's still lined up on the back end. Be careful of your fingers and get the hot iron again. We've set it to without the steam, and then we found that round pencils actually work slightly better than hexagons because it's easier to actually roll it and make sure that the writing goes all the way around the pencil. If you don't quite get it right on the size for the hexagons, it's a little bit harder to get all the writing across the pencil and it doesn't look quite as good, so we would recommend using a round pencil if you can get hold of them. Hexagons still work, but you just got to be aware of the size of the printing you're using. We backwards and forwards on this until it's done. We take it off and hopefully it will come off first time with the writing across it, which will say your name, your date, or whatever message you've chosen to put across it. The useful thing with this is if it doesn't work, you can always get a little bit of sandpaper again, sand it off and retry again. You will need to use a new section of print on the paper because the ink only realistically works probably once, maximum twice. I hope you've enjoyed how to make a pencil me in card. Please like, share, and catch you on the next one.